Quantitative tightening has officially started in June. Here's the Fed's balance sheet. This represents all the money that they've printed and injected into the economy. They started printing money back in 2010 in the Great Recession. In about 2019, they wanted to get all this liquidity back out of the market. And you can see right here, they started taking the liquidity out of the market. But as they were doing so, the market started going down, and then they started reversing course. And about that time, the pandemic hit, and you can see right here how much money has been injected into the economy, almost $9 trillion. Now, as this money is injected into the economy, what happens is the purchasing power of any money that you're holding is diluted. For an example, if you had $200,000 in the bank and you went to buy a house, well, now that same house is going to be $400,000. This really affects the poor and retirees. Let's say you've saved up your whole life and you finally were able to retire. Well, that money in your bank is not going to have the purchasing power that it once did. It has been diluted by the Fed. The Federal Reserve knows this, and that's the reason they're starting quantitative tightening. It's supposed to have started in June. We're going to take a look at that and see if it has. But before we do that, let's take a look how this money printing is affecting the stock market. You can see right here in about 2019 all the money that was injected into the economy, and let's take a look and see where it went. Bitcoin, you can see right here how it has been driven up in price, but now as the Fed's starting to tightening, you can see the money coming out of the markets. Netflix, you can see its big drive up. Now look, it's coming down. As they pull this money out of the market, you're going to see the market start to come down. Here's Alphabet, which is Google, the big drive up, and now look, it's starting to come back down. Snapchat, the big drive up, look, it's coming way back down. Alphabet, which is Google and YouTube, all the way up, now it's starting to come back down. And Meta, which is Facebook, you can see its big drive up, and now it's coming way back down. The housing market is doing the same thing. And really what we have to watch is this Federal Reserve balance sheet. As they continue to pull money out of the markets, what they do is they sell the bonds that they purchased, and once they get that money, they destroy that money, effectively taking that money out of the economy and returning your purchasing power. With cheap interest rates and low money during the pandemic, a lot of these institutional investors and hedge funds who have a good relationship with the banks are able to go to the banks and get 1% interest loans to go up and buy all these residential houses, thus driving up the cost. It shows that 25% of all houses bought between 2021 and 2022 were bought by investors. And if you're wondering why you can't afford a house, that's the reason. If you're wondering why rents are going through the roof, that's the reason, because of all this inflation. Now, at the same time, if you went to get a loan, you could probably get a loan from 3% to 7%, depending on your credit. But you couldn't compete with these investors who can go get these huge pools of money for extremely cheap. So in June, they're supposed to taper. So let's scroll in and see if they actually have started tapering. Okay, we've zoomed in. Here's May 25th, 2022. Here's June 8th. And you can see the balance sheet is still going up. Here's June 15th, and it's still going up June 22nd. But now it looks like it's coming down. Here's July 6th. We want to see this come down to restore our purchasing power with our money. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel. We'll keep you updated on the tapering of the Fed's balance sheet. They normally update every Thursday. Sometimes it rolls over to Friday. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think the Fed will unwind their balance sheet and restore our purchasing power?